Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon. This week we are going to have a whole bunch of unboxings. We're going to have some fun taking a look at some new games to the channel here, and we are going to start off our week of unboxing with Zombicide 2nd Edition. This is a reboot of the original Zombicide game by Come On Games and Guillotine Games, and they have added what hopefully will be a lot of nice touches to the game. And what you're looking at here is the core box that we're going to definitely take a look at today, and probably the stretch goal box, formerly or currently known as the Reboot Box. If we have time, we'll take a look at the presidential box, which is similar. This was basically a stretch goal, but they decided to break out all the presidents into their own box. And then there's this Gabriel miniature here. I honestly can't even remember at what point he was added to my pledge. But then we're also, probably in the second video, going to take a look at Washington ZC, which takes the Zombicide universe and gives it a campaign of sorts. And then Fort Hendricks was an add-on expansion that, similar to Washington ZC, adds a lot of military aspect to the game, but also incorporates the campaign style elements. So Washington ZC is kind of like the capital, Washington DC. It involves the current president, which is not any of the actual presidents. Biden is not in the game. And Fort Hendricks here is definitely bringing in the military, and then obviously Zombicide is kind of just the regular old people off the streets. So that's kind of what they've involved in this season of Zombicide. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the base game. Alright, so here is the base game box. And now this is essentially kind of a reboot of the original Zombicide. So a lot of these characters, if you're familiar with the original game, will probably look very familiar. But what they have done is attempted to streamline the not only gameplay but the setup of the game, as well as, improve sculpts, improved artwork, and then just added in a whole bunch of other really nice touches based on the success of the Kickstarter. So you can see here, this is your standard Zombicide game. You're going to have some fatties, you're going to have some runners, you're going to have lots of walkers, and 4 abominations, which is a nice touch for the base game, and lots of heroes. 12, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 survivors just in the base game. Standard Zombicide, you only play 6 at a time. I believe the base game only had 6 in it, and you basically played with all of them. This one is giving you a ton of options right off the bat, and we haven't even gotten into the stretch goal box. Alrighty, so we have our CMON content, free CMON content. Okay, scan that. We'll check that out later. Here is the rule book. It is quite thick. I'm not gonna lie, but I believe the second half of it should be, yes. Okay, so this is not only the rule book, but it's also the scenario book. So I'm gonna try and skip over most of this. And just ultra red mode. We're still looking at 34 pages. Okay, number 14 missions. Here are we still? Number 4, number 3, number 1. Okay, so yeah, 36. You start looking at missions here, but I don't want to spoil all of that. So, time for Zombicide. So let's see here what's included. We already talked about the miniatures, the ID cards, 9 double-sided tiles, 88 total miniatures in all. The trackers, the boards, the cardboard, and the cards. What is unfortunate, at least at this point in time, they have stated that they have no plans of adding the cards and essentially the hero boards in digital format like they did with Black Plague and Green Horde. Um, and I believe the earlier Zombicide games as well. That was always a really nice touch when you're playing solo because it kept everything nice and clean for you. But yeah, this is, pretty straightforward Zombicide rulebook. There's a lot of graphics and things like that, so 34 pages shouldn't be too bad to get through. And certainly if you are familiar with the Zombicide game, it should be pretty easy to get to. Here's one of the add-ons that I chose not to purchase: the Urban Legends, the Evil Clown, the Gator. I don't even know what those other two are, but I have more miniatures here than I will possibly ever be able to paint or play with. So there you have it. All right, so that's just a quick look at the rulebook. Again, this is pretty thick, but the mission guide is built in there as well. All right, typical CMON fashion here. We have our kind of cardboard box for the miniatures. So I'm just actually going to pick this up. More free CMON content there. Scan the QR code. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and let's just take a look at what else is in the box here before we move on and take a look at all of the beautiful miniatures. All right, appears to just be a whole bunch of cardboard at the bottom, which I guess the cards are going to be saved in with the miniatures. So these are empty, but I advise you not to throw these away because they come in very handy in storing the game back up again and keeping everything nice and tight. So let's break into this and take a look at what all the cardboard is about. Alright, so here we have our noise tokens and then several other tokens. I don't know what they are good for. These must be objective tokens. Yep, with the one red and the one blue. One green and one blue. I'm not sure what these yellow ones are for, but noise tokens and objective tokens. Then we have our spawn zones along with a couple police cars. Kind of curious as to see. I don't know if there's no like first player token in this game. And on the reverse side is the standard muscle car. The 3D cars is something that I waffled on. I wasn't sure whether that was something that I wanted to have because they're certainly not going to fit in any of these boxes. So storing a whole nother extra box just for a toy car, we'll see. We'll see how much they're used in the scenarios. If they only pop up once or twice, then I'll be perfectly fine with my cardboard cars. The rest of these are actually just the map tiles. So that's something that's really nice, is that there really isn't much in the way of cardboard you're having to keep up with. These are door tokens, spawn tokens, cars, noise, and objective tokens, and that's pretty much it. So here are look at the map tiles. You'll notice that the streets are very clean. Obviously not clean, but they don't have the lines drawn in them delineating these sections, but what they have used is these crosswalks and then obviously the walls of the building, but to just try and have a much more kind of cleaner look with the art. They didn't want to mess it up with a whole bunch of lines drawn all over the place. So again, this is supposed to be kind of modern day city Zombicide. Ooh, that looks like a pinball. There we go. Pinball in an arcade, still functioning on some. Ooh, a shiny diner. Somebody's couch. little supermarket. And this is the last one. So let's now clear all this stuff away and let's take a look at the miniatures. All right, so here we have your standard CMON miniatures box. And yes, I was correct. Here are all of the rest of everything you're going to need. So all the cards are right here. These are going to be equipment cards and zombie spawn cards. Obama Cop, not as many as I would have expected. That's really not that big of a stack. And here are the survivor cards and the survivor dashboards. They have created nice slots up here for holding your gear, your backpack, holding your player board. Let's see, how does this move? Yeah, it's got like a click to it. It's a little stiff, but it's not going to just accidentally get bumped. So that's nice. You can see there's these grooves in the back here. So a whole bunch of player boards, should be at least 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 player boards. Some standard dice. Rings, which are always nice before you've painted up your miniatures to keep track of your characters, and a whole bunch of pegs. So let's move on to the miniatures here. And so the orange miniatures here are going to be the heroes, the playable characters. I believe this guy is a school teacher, if I remember correctly. He's got the Jason mask. That's awesome. But a lot of these guys are familiar faces from the original Zombicide game. She's got a big old gun. The punk teenager with the mask. Crazy old prepper guy with all his gear. The chainsaw wielding waitress on roller skates. And then I believe this is one of the kids. I believe this whole bottom row here is youth, as compared to more adult characters, if I remember correctly. And the one with the bunny mask. The super creepy one. Alright. And now I guess we'll move on to, they got them, they are in here tight. There is not a whole lot of room here. Each of these abominations should be unique to some degree. I know that one of these is a cop abomination. I think that may be this guy here. Please help. So this is like the homeless guy abomination. With some birds even stuck on top of him. And straight out of the hospital with his IV bag. Still going. Abomination. Alright, so then we have some lots of duplicate miniatures here. So these appear to all be runners, at least, maybe. It's interesting, these guys are definitely different shades of gray, which would be nice if they made the runners and the walkers different shades of gray. So this appears to just be a standard runner with her face blown off. Not sure who this guy is. But maybe he is like tracksuit guy, so I guess he's probably a runner as well. Again, I think all of these guys up here are runners. And then football player maybe? He's got like pads on. I'm not so sure how I feel about these like extra little poles they're on. I almost would have rather them, them just put the foot down. It's like, well, if I do end up painting this, how am I gonna paint it? What color am I gonna paint that pole? So that is the top layer, and then the bottom layer here. So it does look like the walkers are all in a light gray, and the fatties and the runners are in a darker gray. And the abominations are also in light gray. So I think that is a nice touch here. So let's take a look at some of the fatties. Alright, and now we have the walkers. So it appears that each of these rows is identical to the next. But each of these is unique across the row, which is cool. Firefighter zombie, I do remember him. Crazed housewife zombie. I think she's supposed to be a cop as well. Bike cop, maybe? She's got like the boots and the helmet. Here's the Jesus is coming zombie. The end is near. The world is ending. A sign says dead end, and it's like stuck through them. All right, so that is essentially everything in the base game. Let's real quick take a look at some of these cards here for some of the equipment. So I'm guessing this is some of the starting equipment. You got a baseball bat, a crowbar, fire axe that hits for 2, pistol on a 3+, pistol on a 3+, pistol on a 3+. What was the bat? 3+, crowbar is 4+, and the axe is 4+. So there's your one weapon that can kill a fatty right off the bat. And then you've got your, what I'm assuming are your like, whoops. Assuming these red ones are like what you search for. Oh, okay. So these are like, it's a trap, but then you've got like your army sniper rifle, 1 to 4 range, 2 dice, 3+, hits twice, automatic shotgun, evil twins, Colden AK-47, that's awesome. Rolls 3 dice, rolls 4 dice. Wow. My shotgun, nail bat, and then a whole bunch of these for the blue. So most of those were red, and then the rest of this equipment is blue. So I'm not going to look through all of it, but like bag of rice, gain 3 action points. Canned food, chainsaw, crowbar. Let's see if there's anything really crazy in here. Katana is not bad. Machete, Molotov cocktail. So that's how you get rid of the abominations. Plenty of bullets. Plenty of shells. Shotguns, sniper rifles, submachine guns. 3 dice, hits on a 5+, and only for 1. And some water, and the Pitmobile and the police car. So that is essentially all of the equipment in the game. And that's pretty much everything there is to see that comes in the base box. So let's move on and take a look at the stretch goal box, known as the Reboot Box. Now that we have gotten a look at the core box, let's go ahead and take a look at the stretch goal box. They've named it the Reboot Box. Most of what's in here is going to be unique sculpts for abominations, walkers, runners, and fatties. There are some more heroes in here along with all their ID cards, and then there's what they coined pimp weapons, I guess. Ultra rare, ultra cool weapons. There's also some ID cards in here which I believe help turn your first edition Zombicide heroes, gives them the ability to be played in this second edition. So let's take a look at what's inside here. Okay, reboot rules. Not sure what all they're adding here, I guess, other than, okay, gives you an update on how to use the pimp weapons and all the new abominations, which is good. And then daily zombie spawn house rules. Okay, so what they were, as they were releasing these, they decided that each of these unique zombies that were unlocked as part of a daily unlocking during the campaign, each one of these guys would be given their own unique rule that you can play with, or you can just forget about and throw them in as standard walkers. So that's what they have included here. A lot of these rules were come up with by the fans as well. So that's all that's really in here, is those additional ones. Then we have Okay, a nice tray layout to show you how everybody goes back in there. So this is probably just, yep, a nice big cardboard box. So I'm going to set that off to the side just for a second here. And let's take a look at our pimp weapons real quick, and then we'll get to the miniatures. All right, so we've got Danny's machete. Danny Trey, hey ho, can be used in dual mode with a regular machete. Okay, Mason's sledgehammer. Wonder if you have to actually have these people. Minigun, 1 to 3, 3 dice, 4 plus escalation ranged. Nail gun, 5 dice on 5 plus. That's cool. Presidential golf club. The RPG 7. Wrecking ball. Zombie costume. I remember voting on that. The mummy abomination. Dan's machete. And it appears that you're basically getting 2 of everything. Alright, so that's all the pimp weapons here. This should be the content for the heroes in this box, because then there is, okay, not really sure why Johnny Law here's a separate card, but then this, I believe, is all of the content to turn your standard edition or first edition Zombicide characters into second edition characters. So I have no use for this. Maybe I can find someone that does. But let's take a look at some of these cool abominations here. All right, so we've got the big guy, the Cthulhu abomination. The mummy abomination. The owl bear. No, what is this? The bear man boar. Bear man boar abomination. Lanky man. And black dog abomination. All right, so let's push those off to the side and take a look at what's in this big old box. There's a lot of heroes underneath here. Way more heroes than I remembered. Okay, so let's continue on with the abominations, I guess. Here we have Bigfoot. And the actual cannibal. The Greenwich Crew. Little YMCA action. That one's actually pretty cool. The Bat Abomination. I believe that's it. Yeah, I believe that's it for the abominations. So let's take a look and go through some of the fatties here. Let me just pull my rulebook close by so I can try and remember who all these guys are going to be. I believe this is sumo wrestler fatty. sports fan. This is going to be, who is this? It's not the welder. Oh, is this the luchador? Luchador? Yeah, I think so. The Mexican wrestler. And Unicorn Girl. Goth Chick. And the welder, which is really kind of a random idea for a sculpt, but he's probably got some cool mechanics that go along with him. Okay. I guess we'll go up here to the walkers. This is the swimmer zombie. He's actually probably one of my favorites. The swimmies. And who is this going to be? This must be the bride to be. Yeah, the bride. Bride. The magician. This one's turned around. Who are we going to be? The nun. And the judge. The ballerina. Yeah, ballerina. Who is this? Executive? No. Flight attendant? Yeah, flight attendant. Not sure of this one here. Renaissance Fair? Yeah, Renaissance Fair guy. Cat lady. Right? Let's see. Cat lady. Oh yeah, there's cat lady. And the butler. Alright, here we have... Okay, yeah, this is lawnmower guy. The weed whacker. Executive. Cheerleader. It's pretty straightforward. Lunch lady. Is this the postman? Who is this? I'll turn the page here. Yep, postman. Waitress. The one-man band, which is a fun sculpt. Coffin Joe. And the lion dancer. Technically, I think that's like two lion dancers. They're attached together. That's another cool one. All right, and last but not least, we have ourselves some runner zombies. Let's see here. I believe this is the robber. bullfighter. Olympic runner. Yeah. This is the guy that activates immediately. Olympic runner. The skateboarder. Football player. Again, they're adding in these little posts here, which I'm not so sure about. And last but not least, the pizza delivery guy, complete with pizza hanging out the front end. Okay, so that is all of the zombies that came in the stretch goal box. Okay, so for all these heroes, I'm not going to attempt to hold them up in my hand and remember everybody's name, so we're just going to do some close-ups like this. So here we have Andrea. Question is, am I going to be able to find all of these people in here as their cards come up? Completely forgot they had a Home Alone character headed. That's awesome. right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is everything in the stretch goal box. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And as a reminder, keep an eye out for the rest of the week for more unboxings on the Meeple Marathon. Tomorrow, we will be taking a look at the rest of the Zombicide 2nd Edition content, including Fort Hendricks, Washington, D.C., and the Presidential Box. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.